And we begin tonight with breaking news. The U.S. Senate is poised to pass a bipartisan gun reform bill at any moment. Hello, I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. They're in the process. We're going to take a live look at the Senate floor where votes are being cast and counted. They are already over just the simple majority of votes they need, because they are not going to, any side doesn't have a chance to filibuster this, and so it will be voted on, and likely, if they've got 51 votes, and when I left the newsroom, they're at 53, it's going to pass gun reform. Like most bipartisan legislation, doesn't have a lot that either side really wants. There are Republicans who say some of the provisions in the bill go too far.
And Democrats would like to see more than just expanded background checks and incentives for so-called red flag laws. But it's the most significant move from the Senate when it comes to guns in years. Fox 4's Blake HANSON live tonight with more. Blake.
Yeah, Heather and Steve, votes are still being counted, but at this point, enough votes for that legislation to pass the Senate. And we saw this split tonight from Texas's two Republican senators. Earlier tonight, we heard from Senator Cruz, who bashed it as a, quote, Democrat bill. And then we heard from Senator John Cornyn, who helped craft the legislation. And he criticized those who are opposing the legislation, saying that they're trying to create a false choice between school safety and gun rights.
This is the sweet spot.
In a rare moment of bipartisanship, all Senate Democrats and a group of 15 Republicans pushed forward legislation addressing school safety in the wake of the mass shooting in Uvalde.
This is not a cure-all for all the ways gun violence affects our nation, but it is a long overdue step in the right direction. It's significant. It's going to save lives.
In addition to funding for mental and behavioral health, the legislation requires federal background checks to examine juvenile and mental health records for buyers under 21, closes the boyfriend loophole, and creates additional penalties for straw purchases and gun trafficking.
While some have said that taxpayer dollars are being used to violate someone's Second Amendment rights without due process, that's clearly a false accusation.
One key aspect of the legislation may not affect the people of Texas. It includes $750 million federal dollars to incentivize states that enact red flag laws. A red flag law allows police or courts to remove weapons from someone deemed dangerous to themselves or others. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick poured cold water on the idea of it happening here in a radio interview Wednesday.
In 2019, after the Santa Fe shooting, we had the same move to do this. And we did not support that. I did not support it. The Senate did not support it because there's a constitutional right.
Cornyn has defended the federal legislation that's faced opposition from some in his party, including Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Cornyn was booed while speaking at the state Republican convention last week. But new polling suggests it's not hurting him. A Morning Consult poll says his approval rating has held steady, which the outlet says suggests the blowback he faced at last week's convention is not particularly representative. So now with this legislation in the process of passing the Senate, the House is next. It's expected the House will take that up tomorrow because Congress is set to go on break for a couple of weeks. Steve and Heather.
All right, Blake HANSON live in Dallas. Blake, thank you.